Peace, y'all. The Bro Foundation, live in effect. We here, we live. Got everybody here today. Shout out to Jesse, man. You know what I'm saying? He's been gone for a couple weeks, you know what I mean? Like, ducking and hiding, no, on the plantation, no. We know how it go, bro. It'd be like that, man. Priorities first, you know what I'm saying? Like, that paycheck, you gotta do what you gotta do to, man, that's just what it is. So, but yeah, we glad to have you back, brother. You know what I mean? Back on this convo, and yeah, man. How everybody living though?
Yeah, it's good to be back, bro. Good to be back. Good to be live in front of people. And I enjoy it, man. I couldn't wait to get back on, man. So I'm feeling good right now. Just like what Hen said, we got a couple cool little days. It was 2 cool days for us, man. And I'm enjoying it and taking while it's here. So
what's up? What's up? What's cool for y'all? We've been in the 80s and 90s up here, man. Like it's been some good days, and it's probably cool days for y'all, like you said, man. Like
yeah,
crazy. And but my driver's side window cracked, man. Not on my new joint, but on my white joint, the old one. Shit cracked, man. It's like it's been sealed. I haven't really, I don't know if it's from the heat or was it when they was busting off fireworks or something like that. But so that just kind of got me frustrated. But yeah, all in all, man, life is good, man. Life is good. Glad to always tap in with the brothers.
Energy is always welcome, man. And I appreciate you guys for sure. So it's all good over here.
You know it. So yeah, we just gonna get right into it, man. Like, so we last week, shout out for everybody who already checked the episode. We talked about AI and those called front to the future, and that was for a reason, because you got to have your front to the future, and you got to know that you got to pay attention to what's going on, because if you don't, you're gonna get left behind. That's why I felt like it was properly titled Front to the Future. But yeah, so this episode is kind of like a part two to that. When we think about when it comes to attaining wealth as a community, as a black community, and this isn't what I want to say. This isn't to take away from any other community or whatever. It's just a matter of we are 4 black men, so we got to keep it real and understand the perspective where we come from. So that being said, it's a matter of when it comes to attaining wealth in our community, it seems like a lot of us are apprehensive, are scared, don't really want to do the work and really get to that. And I'll say that with the advent of Earn Your Leisure and a bunch of other different financially based podcasts and stuff like that are urban, we're starting to wake it up, and that's important. But as a whole, it seems like for the majority of our time, we have been very scared when it comes to doing what it takes to attain wealth. And that's really kind of what we want to talk about. Like I said, being that we're in the cusp of and it's, I don't want to call it a new world order, but we are really at the forefront of some things that are really about to change when it comes to the way we live, the things that we, in a sense, call a necessity in our lives. Things are really about to fully shift, and it's important for us as a community to be on that forefront, to be on that edge and ready to take action. But when you look at the past and you look at a cumulative of what we have gone through over through the course of time, we have a tendency of not wanting to I don't want to say believe what, the changes that are happening, but we just really get, like I said, apprehensive about, you know, getting wealthy. The whole idea of the word scam in and of itself. Everything's a scam to us. Everything's a scam. But if you break down that word, I don't remember who exactly said it, but scam just means you're still confused about money. you know. And a lot of us are still confused about money. I mean, it takes money to make money to a degree. Like you have to be willing to invest to, to get somewhere. Like you can't think that you're just gonna get wealth. It's just gonna be handed to you. And if it is handed to you, how are you really gonna appreciate it? You're not. So, like I said, man, we just want to talk about and break down, and we know that it comes from a lot of different issues and things that we've dealt with as a community. But why do you feel that we as a community are so afraid of attaining true wealth in this country when it comes to financial security, when it comes to just being outside of that, getting to that 1%? Why do we feel that so many of us are afraid of attaining wealth? Whoever wants to tap in first, tap in. When we gonna
Man,
get
it can come from a numerous of things in my vision, in my thought process. And what I brought out the other day when we was chopping it up, I brought out the initials TT, and I said traditional thinking. You know, I can remember as a kid coming up, like, and I was always going to church with my mom, but it was always preaching about like rich people won't enter heaven. It's like a lot of times you won't, if you get rich is evil, money is evil. And that was the process, like thinking as a kid, and then going up, and so like you automatically thinking like, okay, I just take my little bit, I'll survive, and that's the rest. That's it. You know what I mean? And that way of thinking can like paralyze you, like, because you can't even think no clearer or no more about wanting more. There's nothing wrong with wanting more or wanting, to do well for yourself and your family. So the old way of thinking, like, man, that was like just instilled at me as a little boy, man, because it's just like, you go get your a job that's gonna pay your pension when you retire at 65, and you can live your life after that. But there's also things that you can do to like businesses and creative things that you can do that you don't even have to wait till 65 to retire. You know what I mean? You don't have to wait that long to be able to enjoy your life. So, but is also another thing that's being told too as well, is always, oh, the white man don't got this, or the white man got this, and we don't have access to a lot of things, which we do. We just had to find them, create our own lanes, and go ahead and go get this money, and take care of yourself. So it's no more excuses anymore, especially like what y'all was bringing up with the AI and everything. It's like, even with my coworker, man, like he's in his late 50s, and he's like paranoid when it comes to the iPad. Like even whenever we make work orders, we have to get it on the iPad and everything. And he just hands it inside of my hand. When I first started, I was like, bro, I don't know what to do, but I figured it out, because I have some computer knowledge and everything. But I was like, man, I don't want to be like this whenever AI takes off, and whenever all this other stuff like this technology just take off and go somewhere. I don't want to be caught up like this. I want to keep being ahead of the game and understanding and learning, instead of like asking my kids to, hey, figure this out for me. I want to be able to figure that out, So having that knowledge and understanding, and not letting yourself get to the point where you stop learning, because we're always students of the game. You feel me? So we're going to always be learning something. So don't ever get to the point where you just stop learning and you just stop trying, or you don't even want to even try to get whatever you need to get. So that's part of what I was thinking about it, man, because we can easily do that to ourselves, and we could just sit there and just plateau, man, and just be like, okay, I don't have to learn. You're a grown man, you're a grown woman, or whatever. You don't have to learn whatever you don't want to learn. But for us, it's like, man, I want to keep up with the times because there's something out there. Because like what you said, Ty, like right now, you got to look at it, man. There is no more middle class, bro. You either rich or you poor. And that's what society is trying to like push on us right now, though. Like it's like, dude, like you gotta like they poisoning the foods and everything. So right now you gotta figure out where your lane is and where you sit in at.
I think it is one major thing I think it is fear. It's fear of the unknown. You don't know what this is going to bring about. So in a lot of cases, they just don't even bother to put the time in and learn. But you got to get past that fear of it. I mean, and I know some of that kind of comes along with age and the circle around you. And I guess that's another big contributor. Because if you don't know anybody that's doing anything with it, but all you hear is negativity about it, then people gonna try to stay away from it. And I don't mean this just as in with AI, but just in trying to build something of your own, something to go out there and get this money that's sitting out here, or get this wealth that's sitting out here. Some cases, it's the education. Some people don't have that foundation to build something like AI upon. They may be, not as savvy with computers. So to not be that savvy to start with, and now you're gonna bring something totally more advanced into the mix, they shy away from it. For no other reason than their pride get to them because they don't want to look stupid or supposedly stupid around everybody around them. If you worked your job for however long, or once you made it to a certain age, it's just something in us men that you want to seem like you got everything together, even in cases when you don't. You just want to that have that outward appearance. But if there's ever a point where you're gonna look vulnerable, then nah. So I think we were on the chop up the other night, and I said something about it's easier to teach a child how to swim than it is an adult, because adults, for one, he don't want to jump in. He's fearful of it to start with. He hadn't learned it this far in life and made it. Most adults, they don't see the need to learn it. Now, the other side of that is they don't want to be out there and look and appear weak in any shape or form. No man does. So to step off into something like AI, or step off and try to make your own business, that risk of failing is more powerful than that the thirst for that wealth is. Then you got the imaginary hurdles they put, like Jesse said. People say, well, they got this, they got that, they ain't gonna let you get this. It's free for you to go and get. Whatever it may be, whatever business you want to start, it's up to you. If you see the value in it, you go and do it. You can let people around you, that's in your circle that's not as supportive, like ain't no money in that. Well, there's money in it, but that's not their vision to see. That's your vision. If you see where this is going to be successful, then chase after it. All you got to do is put in the education and go and get it. But some of us, we just let other people around us talk us out of being great, just because they can't see. And finally, I think what a major part of it is, some people, it is a level of education or lack thereof. But some people, once they've gotten to a certain point, that's all they're bandwidth. So anything new coming along like AI, if they already having a problem using a cell phone or a computer, then it might be a little more difficult for them to be able to program something like this to go out and start a business off of, or have this operate a business for them. So they're sooner to stay again in the shallow end where it's safe at. They're familiar and they can move. And once they get to a point where they're comfortable, they done. They're fine with it. But we all have to realize the opportunities that's around us and have that drive to push our own selves past what we put in front of us as far as hurdles. There's so much more that you could do, so much more you could do for your family if you just step out and try.
That's real, man. And I think y'all all said key components. Ty, you start off by saying like it's a lot of fear. And I think with just the way that we've been approached to wealth has always been, on the back end of it already being a thing. And I feel like reading this book, it's called The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel.
Good book.
And that book basically breaks down on like a lot of the components just mentally how we look at money. And one of the parts in the book that it talks about, the whole risk and reward type of thing, which we all know, no risk, no reward. But in the same breath, we have a lot of people who think that those who get the reward are lucky. And, it's kind of on the investing side. Like when you invest, what is your cap? What is your end goal when it comes to that? Like how much is enough? And there's different components in the book, but I say all that to say, with no risk, as I said, there's no reward. If we don't take the initiative, we don't take a chance on that leap of faith of, okay, I understand that I'm gonna be working this job if I stay here for X amount of years, which is cool, right? If that job pays you well, by all means, it may work out for you. But when it comes to the advancement of now just not being rich, now we're wealthy, we all know that working a 40-hour-a-week job or more ain't really the way where, again, in most cases, especially when we grew up, that's not really where we're going to find that wealth at. We got to take a risk to be like, okay, either I'm going to invest, either I'm going to start a business, I'm going to get some land. There has to be some kind of step where you taking that risk to get past that fear of the unknown, like Henry said. Now, the reward comes in at, hey, it may not be 60 days, it may not be 6 months, it may not be 6 years. But when you put in that effort, you put in that work, you're now putting yourself in the opportunity in the rooms as well as in certain conversations now where those who are wealthy, those who are rich, you around them because you're putting yourself in that type of environment. Now, there's other people when it comes to luck. Oh, you're lucky, you this, you're that. Yeah, that's a very one-off time where you can get lucky and winning the lottery. There's a one-off time where you can get lucky by you got hit by a vehicle and now you got a settlement. But that's one of those one-off things. It's very far off that you are going to be lucky consistently. It's not a real thing. It's either you've been putting in work and now you're reaping the benefits of that work, or you got some kind of system that's just working for you. Luck ain't really a thing if there's no work put in. And I feel like just as a community, we still think about minimal things that don't really have value. We buy clothes, we buy cars, we buy shoes, that all decreases in value. We still live in a liability mindset, not an asset. So once we get past that risk aspect to get the reward and we stop thinking it's luck without the hard work, we'll be in a much better predicament moving forward. Again, that's just in-house. But as a community, even a better predicament because, again, we're taking that fear out of it. We putting in the effort, and now we giving ourselves a chance to not just be rich or comfortable, but wealthy. Now, that's something we can pass down generationally. But again, that all takes certain steps to get there, for sure.
Man,
But for me,
go ahead.
go ahead. No, I was gonna say, but for me, it's like you have to dig into certain type of, you got to go looking for those people who are in those type of conversations. You have to go find those doors that you knock on to then have those conversations with those people. At the end of the day, you can't just expect things to just come to you. You got to put that work in.
No, absolutely, man. That's of utmost importance is understanding that we got to put that work in. It's like, with us as a community, it's like we don't believe it until we see it. Like we gotta, even if we might understand like, yo, this could be opportunity, but I don't know. I need to see, like you gotta see, we have to see the wealth from somebody that looks like us before we are willing to like, okay, damn, this might be real, you know. And then we might, you know, we'll still be a little more, you know, we might be willing to look more into it. But when it comes to making that investment, we still like, you know, you might have to. I can give you a wealth of knowledge of how to get a bag, but if I tell you you got to invest $1,000 so you can be a part of a community, so you can actually get the resources that you need to boom, 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 you'd be like, I don't know, man, you know, and such. But you'll go spend $500 on a Beyonce concert or a Chris Brown concert or a Drake concert, or you know what I'm saying. You'll go spend that thousand, you know, as soon as you get the income tax check, you know what I'm saying. You go break bread with it, you know, all these retailers, all these, you know, like we said last week with or a couple weeks ago, these different last names. You know what I'm saying? Like these companies with their family last names. You'll go spend all the money that you can, that you got, you know, but you ain't willing to invest 500 to 1,000 in yourself, to where if you know what I mean, in 6 months time, maybe a year's time, you'll be at, you know what I mean, if you put in the work, you'll be what, 100K, multiple 100K in. You know what I'm saying? Like, why can't we do that? Three things I kind of want to talk about before, you know, like, you know, kind of what you got, kind of piggyback on what you guys said. But I think number one, I think we've kind of been sold the dream of having a fallback. You know, having a fallback, like that. You know, yeah, you know, go after your dreams, go after your dreams, go after your goals, but make sure you got something to fall back on. I wish I could go, you know, if I can go back into, that's something that I would probably flip, you know what I mean? Because, and I think Eddie Murphy was the one that said, he was like, no, I didn't have a plan B. I just went hard on my plan A. You know what I'm saying? I was like, no, it's got to work, or it's got to work, period. You know what I'm saying? Because once you start thinking about, as soon as the obstacle comes, as soon as you start seeing obstacles, because obstacles are put in your way to see how bad you want it. That's all obstacles put in your place. You know what I mean? Like if you say you want something, obstacle is put in your place to say, okay, how bad do you want this? I'm gonna put this roadblock right here in front of you. How bad you want it? You know what I'm saying? And if you've been sold that idea of having something to fall back on, that roadblock, that obstacle is going to further empower that fallback. Like, oh, you know, I guess it wasn't for me to have, so let me go, you know, work on my, you know, on my plan B. Well, nah, you should, if you see that as if you really want something bad enough, it's like, boom, okay, you know what? Nah, I want this. I'm gonna keep going. I don't care what this obstacle has is that's in front of me. I'm gonna keep going. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna use this to empower me. You know, to say, you know, I want this that much more now. You know what I'm saying? You trying to block me? I want this that much more now. You know, and so that's why I think you know, we kind of get sold that dream of, you know, no, you know, make sure you got something that you can, you know, if your dream doesn't come true, or your goals doesn't, make sure you have something that you can rely on, and make sure, get steadfast, go hard in everything that you want to accomplish. Because when you do that, it might take longer than you expected, but everything should go towards that goal that you have. Even if you have to, and this is where people get it misconstrued. Like, even if you have a goal and you have to sidetrack, or you have to get a job, that job can still power you to get to your goal. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted to have my own business, and I didn't want to work no more. But you know what? I had to regroup. I had to go back into the workforce, and everything that I say I want, I'm still going after. It doesn't change that. It doesn't change the outcome. I just have to use the tools that I have now to okay, say, boom, you know what? This is when I get this, boom, then I'm going to use this to get to it's the whole thing. Infiltrate, educate, vacate. That's the same. That's the same model. But it's still important that you don't get lost in the whole idea of having something to fall back on. That's number one. The number two, the whole idea of money is evil. You know what I'm saying? Like, money is not evil, bro. If money was evil, why do we wake up every day to go to work? Because what are we going to work for? For that paycheck. You know what I'm saying? What do we invest into the stock market for? Money, to attain wealth. What do we, real estate? It's all to bring back money to you. So you don't have to worry about, because the idea at the end of the day is to not have to worry about where your next meal is coming from, how you're gonna pay your next bill, all that. So it's the sooner that you could, like what Wall Street Chopper said, we talked about it in the chop up, the sooner that you can buy back all your time, the sooner that you don't have to worry about waking up to go work for $1. Your money's gonna work for you. You know what I'm saying? We're all being programmed to work till we're 70 years old, and then if we're even lucky to get there, you know what I'm saying? Retirement age is what, 67 now, something like that.
Yeah.
And then if we even have enough, if we have enough saved up or whatever, then we spend the last 3 to 5 years traveling. Wearing a Depends, traveling. You know what I'm saying? Like walking with a cane. I mean, hopefully we'll all be in good health, or we're not living like that. But that's the dream that they're selling us. You know what I mean? So it's like it's easy to kind of get caught up in that whole idea of, damn, I ain't gonna be able to get to my dreams or to my goals. So let me just figure out how I can work this next job for the next 40 years and say, get that pension saved up and hopefully, for after I retire, if I get a chance to, if I've saved enough, if I was smart enough to save up enough money, then I could travel, maybe do some things, hopefully if I'm lucky. But who knows? You know what I mean? Like that's why it's important to get all you can right now and get rid of that whole idea that money is evil, man. The root of money is not evil. Because if it was, then the church wouldn't be trying to come after it either. You know what I mean? You wouldn't be tithing 10% of your money every Sunday. You know what I mean? If money's so evil, why they want your money? Why the church want your money? But that's a whole different conversation, man. And then the third one, the idea kind of speaking on with the tithes and shit. We've been sold, especially us as a community, man. We've been sold that our riches are going to come in the afterlife. Our riches are going to come, after we die. So we shouldn't worry about being wealthy or having it here. When we die, that's when we're going. Man, I refuse to allow that to dictate, because that's part of our problem as a community. We think in that with that ideal. I get it to a degree, but nah, man, because that just further speaks truth to the power, or just allows you to stay in your in poverty. It allows you to stay in poverty because you're so caught up in, yeah, I'm not gonna get it here, but when I die, I'm gonna get it. Nah, man, we deserve everything that we have right in the here and now. Everything that we want and desire, we should have in the here and now. Bottom line. You know what I'm saying? Not after, because who even knows? Nobody even knows. That's the thing about it. Nobody even truly knows what that's gonna come. You don't even know. You know what I mean? So it's like, why not go after any and everything that you possibly can right now? And it's only going to, and furthermore, just basically securing your family. Why don't you want to secure your family? That's what we talked about last week or a couple weeks ago when it comes to life insurance policy. Why not secure your family so they don't got to worry about where their next meal is going to come from, how they going to eat, you know what I mean? How they going to pay this bill, that bill, put clothes on their back. Nah, we're one of the only communities that think like that. So we gotta get out of it. Otherwise, we will continue to live in poverty, to think that we don't deserve that wealth in the here and now. We're gonna continue to think that once we die, that's when everything's gonna come. Who even knows, man? What we know right now, we can get it, and we should be going after it, man. So those are the three things, man, to me that I think that hinder us as a community. We gotta get out of those ideas, man. Otherwise, we're not gonna go nowhere. We're gonna remain stagnant, man. And so that's what's frustrating. But yeah, we gotta do it.
Man, you impact a lot of power right there, T. There's a quote that says that a wise man leaves an inheritance for his children's children.
Yeah.
So you leave that inheritance, and that means that you have to put some work in and be creative, have some creativity to provide this for your children's children. Another thing is, I would like to thank all of y'all, bro, like for even introducing me to the book, The Atomic Habits, bro, and creating these systems, that whenever you form your goal, you create that system to achieve that goal. And what I mean by that, like, for example, for me right now, my goal is for the month of July that I was going to do 3,000 push-ups. That's 100 push-ups a day. And, so the system that I created is getting on the floor and doing these things, right? So now I'm used to it. Now I'm not going to just do it for a month. I probably do it for the rest of my life now, because it's starting to become a habit, and it's starting to become me now. So creating something for yourself, man, it's very major, man. Like, a lot of the points that we are hitting tonight is really all about forming a plan, man. And you have to form that plan, like you said, and stick to the plan. But understand that roadblocks are going to come. Things going to happen, but you have to have somebody, your people, in the forefront of who you're thinking about. Just like I just said with the children's children, perhaps. Like, you want to have your last name, or just like your memory, your legacy, knowing that you went out, you tried your best, and you did what you have to do to make sure that your family get what they need to get. So creating is not as hard as that, because when you look at it, we are some of the richest people in the world, man, people of color. It's simply because look at the shopping that we do. They say it's like $1.3 trillion that we
1.45 now.
Yeah, 1.5. I mean, come on, man, that's a lot of money. So what we doing with this money? Like, how are we investing in this money? Are we investing in this money? We're not. And that's why a lot of the foreigners and people come over and build these different things inside of our neighborhoods, because that's where the money at. Let's go where it's at. This is where it's at. So it's going to draw it to it. So we're going to keep spending. So a lot of times it's just a matter of switching up, man, like being the producer instead of consumer. And I even look at that at myself whenever I look at ads on Instagram, and I'm like, damn, a lot of times I'm like, damn, I am the consumer a lot, because I'm looking at the producer who are producing this. They got my attention. So I'm the consumer. I'm dragging right to it. I'm looking at it. So I even heard, like, with LL Cool J said one time, and he was talking about how, like, a lot of people talking about he had stomach surgery, he had this and had that, and he was like, man, I'm part of the 1%ers that get up every morning and go put that work in and get my body to where it's at. Because it's easy to sit back eating a McDonald's sandwich and watching him just walk across the stage like, dang, I wish I can get that one day. But you can. You just got to put that McDonald's down and then go out there and do what he do. You feel me? Or follow a nicer little regimen for yourself. And I was gonna bring up Trap too as well, man. Shout out to Wall Street Trapper, man. That guy there is inspiring. But I watched whenever he had his birthday a couple weeks ago, and he was talking about how he was on a mattress some years ago, like not even a long time ago. It was like short years ago. I can't remember. I don't want to lie on it, but he was talking about how short of a time, and he woke up in Italy for his birthday. But he put that work in, bro. He stuck to his plan, put a system together, got himself out there, and did what he got to do. So it's inspiring to all of us to mimic these type of people. And if you don't have these type of people on your pages and stuff like that, man, go follow these people because they are very inspiring when it comes to like the work that they do. And just admire their work, man, and put in that work yourself. You'll be very shocked on how stuff would start coming to you. And just like what you brought up, Ty, about the money. And money is just like you sowing a seed, man. Wherever you sow it, that's where it's gonna grow. So if you put it in bad habits, that's where it's gonna grow at. You know, you buying this and buying that. But if you invest in and trying to watch it grow, that's what it's gonna do. It's like a baby, it's gonna grow. As soon as you keep feeding it the right things, it's gonna grow. It's just like a plant, man. So it's just like you said, it's not a bad thing. It's just thinking about your future and as far as your family and what they're gonna have whenever you pass away from here. You know what I mean? Because that's what it's all about, man. Like they understand it's like, damn, daddy did his thing, you know, or mom did her thing, made sure that we was in position to be where we at right now. You know what I mean? And one of my friends I saw on his page, he was showing his house and he was like, man, this about time my kids get this house is gonna be worth millions of dollars, you know? And that's something that they can have. He's like, I'm proud of that. I put all my blood, sweat, and tears inside of that so they can have something, you know? And now he's enjoying the fruit of his labor because he into stocks and bonds and real estate and all this other stuff. So he's able to go do what he want to go do while he's 50 years old. So that's inspiring, man. You know, so just put yourself in position, man. Like, you know, like I said, man, follow these people that actually putting in this work and go mimic that, man. And you'll be surprised of where you'll be at in life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, the funny thing is, as far as starting your own business, you know, some people try to, you know, talk you out of it. Like I said before, you know, if you have a dream and you don't see yourself achieving it in the circle that you're in, you might need to, you know, get into a different circle. Like I really just got into playing around with investing in, let's just say, the last 5 years. But prior to that, there wasn't anybody really in my circle that was talking about it or trying to do it. And I was right around with them. You know, it was stuff that I used to think about, but I never actually put any kind of work into trying to learn or do anything with it. But as I started creeping in and doing little stuff here and there, I started to learn more, and I wind up putting myself in different circles with people that helped me learn more about it. So by me changing up who I'm around, gave me that confidence to get out there and start learning and, you know, figuring this thing out myself. Now, you hear a lot of people that love to say, you know, money's not everything or money can't buy happiness. But, you know, when the bills are paid, everybody's happy. So money is worth something. And it's up to you to just come out there and get it, to figure out what it is, however you're gonna do whatever it is. Your own business, educating yourself so that you can, you know, do something different. All that's on you. It's out here for you to come get it. Just the way statistically things are set up, all you have to do is put in enough effort and you have no choice but to succeed. Matter of fact, the only way that guarantees you that you don't succeed is if you don't try to start. But we got to get past, you know, those hurdles. At the age I am, my grandparents hustled. They worked. And that was kind of at the point where, you know, parents were telling their kids, you know, they do what they could to get their kids in college so you can get a good job. As my era came along, it was still somewhat the same thing, but you kind of, at the tail end of my generation, you start having those entrepreneurs coming in and they start creating, you know, value streams for themselves. So whereas my grandparents probably wouldn't understand anything that I'm talking about dealing with as far as computers. It's going to be, progressively the exact same thing, generation after generation after generation, as technology grows or different means of making income, come. But one thing remains is times will always change. And with that change, there will be some hiccups. There will be some learning curve, but it's best for you to try to put yourself in a position where the struggles are minimized. Learn what you can, put what you know to work for you. And it could very well just be something small that you don't find that other people will have value in it, but you'd be surprised. You really would be surprised as far as businesses that have been started just off of somebody's hobby. And in all honesty, Bezos started out in a garage. That was his office. And it's astronomical, the wealth that he has amassed at this point. Like, I don't think at that time that he was so much concerned with making himself look rich or himself look successful around his immediate neighbors. He had a much bigger plan, much bigger goal in sight. We couldn't see, no, I don't think anybody could have imagined when he started that it would amass to this point. But he had a vision and he ran with it. And look at him now. And the same thing can hold true for any and every one of us if we are only willing to come out here and get it. But you got to realize that, trying to keep a couple of Hellcats in the driveway, your closet filled up with Gucci stuff. That's you want to look rich, but rich only satisfy the same small amount of people that you're around. Wealth is quiet. Wealth would drive around in an old station wagon, just to and from, and you'd never know because they prefer to let that money work for them. Meanwhile, you go and busting your butt to try to make everybody else make everybody else think that you're rich. But in all honesty, think about it. Are you doing this to what? Impress little neighborhood chicks? I'm sorry, neighborhood women? It's more than that because they're not even looking for that. Value don't chase money. Money chase value. So all that money that you're putting in trying to look rich and you killing yourself trying to work that job just to maintain a car payment or something, it's all for nothing. The thing is to try to build your wealth. You spend your younger years learning a craft, learning a trade, perfecting that skill. Then you spend the next group of years making that money. Because on the tail end of that money is what's going to try to help keep you alive towards the rest of your life. Yeah, it's kind of a vicious circle, but you got to have the mindset that you can do more than what you're doing. Just relying on a job to pay you and take care of you. We all born with breath in our lungs, a mind. We can do a lot with those. It's just a matter of getting education, going out there, stepping out into the unknown, and just running for it.
That's real. And one thing that y'all said that we got to stop chasing money, man. We got to attract what we want. That's the part that we lost sight of. We lost sight of who we truly are. We steady trying to chase a bag and get to a bag when we are the bag. So when we stop chasing stuff that's not for us, we'll attract what we need. And then after that, we just got to support the people that we have in front of us. We got to support the local people who got the dreams instead of looking after all these big brands that's already rich. There's nothing wrong with putting money in their pocket. But if you know your man's got a business or he has something going on that could benefit the world, benefit you, benefit your family, investing into those local, even if it's not your people, it's just within the community. Start supporting local. Grow that foundation, grow that seed, plant that seed, and grow that foundation with the people that's around you. Because, again, you got your network is your network. Your net worth is your net worth. And how are you gonna get there? So we have to stop one being egotistical. We have to broaden our thought process. We have to broaden our horizon on where we want to go. How are we going to get there? Sometimes you got to know people. It ain't about what you can do, it's about who you know. So start building that community, that foundation, so you can get people who support you to move in that way. And again, it's gonna take time. Like y'all said, it's gonna take time to get there. But is it worth it? Is what you want to do at the end of this all worth it? Or are you just too scared to take that risk? There ain't nothing gonna come out of nothing if you put nothing in. 0 + 0 = 0. So you have to take some type of chance. You have to take that risk and put yourself in those predicaments that's sometimes uncomfortable. Because on the other side of that decision that you did not make, it's probably going to be the outcome that you did not get because you didn't put the work in to get it. So you have to prepare yourself for what you want now, in the present now, to then get what you want in the future. And that's why I always say my 5 Ps. You got practice, perfect, what is it? Proper preparation prevents poor performance. I said this probably in one of our first 5 episodes, but it's something so crucial and so simple that we lose sight of that. And I'm pretty sure we go into a different culture, different community, they put their kids in these type of understanding. They put these kids in like schools and trade stuff, and they kind of teach them those same things, but in different ways. But for us, we don't get that. We don't have the big ups above us putting us on game. We always look at the drug dealers and the artists and the basketball players to who we look at for wealth. But proper preparation prevents poor performance. That can be attached to anything. So I think we got to start looking at ourselves in the mirror on a spiritual level as well as a financial level. And like, I make these decisions. Why? Where does the root reason of why I do what I do, where it comes from? Why am I so scared to take risks? Why am I scared to invest into my homeboys or to this business or to this company? What does any of that mean? So once you start to find out the real root, you'll get past that part and then be able to take those chances, take that leap. But yeah, it's so many different layers to it. Y'all have all hit all of them, but it's like, when will it actually stop? At what point do we start making excuses and just put in the work? For real.
So one of the first videos I made, man, well, not one of the first videos I made, but it was a video I made a while ago. I kind of made this analogy. Let's say if you're throwing a barbecue, right? And it's a barbecue for the family, for the friends, for everybody, you know what I mean, in the entire neighborhood. And like I said, you're allowing everybody to eat, but you soon start to realize, like, damn, food is getting short, and all your family haven't even shown up yet, so they can get them a plate. Are you going to just let the food just go to everybody else without letting your family get a plate, or are you gonna say, you know what, hey, let's stop. I gotta stop handing out plates to everybody. We gotta hold off real quick so more of the family can show up because I want to make sure that they get a plate too. You know what I'm saying? It's the same when it comes to with our spending. We got to stop spending with all these other different families, everybody else outside, and we got to start spending with ourselves so we can get to a point that we are seeing wealth. Because, like you said, it's not a bad thing that we want to buy Gucci, we want to buy this, we want to buy that. But there's so many other Black designers. There are so many other brand names that are within our own community that if we start putting the money with them first, and then you know what I'm saying, then they start to eat. And then once that wealth starts to circulate, then it's like, okay, yeah, then okay, now we can open it up and then we can start spending a little bit with outside the community. But first, let's make sure that everybody in the community eats. We gotta make sure that everybody eats first. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't want your moms to miss a plate. You don't want your brother to miss a plate. You don't want your auntie and uncle to miss a plate. You want them to enjoy the festivities too. But right now, currently, everybody else is eating and the family's not eating. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we gotta start making sure that we, are spending within ourselves first. And then saying, you know what? Everybody's eating, everybody, they'll get to a point where, like I said, that money starts to circulate. It's been proven that if we start to circulate just even a third of that $1.4 trillion within the next 3 to 5 years, will be millionaires, the entire community. Because it will start, that's what that creates. That there is so much money, 1.5, we don't even realize how much money that is. But if we start to circulate that, just even a third of that into the community over the next 3 to 5 years, we'll be millionaires. That's huge. That's huge right there, right? But we ask, like I said, why would we rather go spend our money and look the part as opposed to actually being the part? We don't think that we deserve wealth as a community. We don't think that we deserve to be wealthy as a community. Why is that? Because of the brainwashing and the conditioning and things. So over the past 250 years, you know? But we got to understand that we do absolutely, emphatically deserve wealth. We deserve it. And once we realize that, then that will kind of flip that switch like, yeah, okay, I do. And then you possibly will start going after it. And like I said, it's not about the money per se. It's about that financial security. It's about knowing that, okay, this is taken care of. Our, grandma, grandpa, auntie, uncle, cousin, brother, everybody, we taken care of now. We eating. You know what I'm saying? Because we deserve it. There's no other reason. There's no other way around it. We deserve wealth. We deserve to live a good life without having to apologize for it. Without having to apologize for it. You know, it's crazy to think like, when you see somebody, and we talked about it already, but when you see somebody who is doing well for themselves, you got the people who have fear in their heart or don't think that they can get to where that person is, starts attacking them, their character, starts attacking them personally. Like, oh, he done sold out, he done did this, they didn't did that, they didn't. Why? It's like I was listening to Cat Williams earlier today, man. Like I said, I listen to a lot of comedy radio when I be at work because it helps me, get through the day. But he's like, you see somebody in the Escalade and all of a sudden you start thinking like he made a fucked up life decision. Like, why? You know what I'm saying? Like he got to that bag. He put in that work. She put in that work. Did what she had to do. He did what he had to do to allow himself to get that, that nice ride while you sitting there with the, you know what I'm saying, a station wagon with hubcap spinners on, you know what I'm saying, with hubcaps on, and you mad at this man because he got an Escalade. That ain't his fault. I mean, he put in that work. Don't be mad at him. You go put in some work too when you can get there. But you're so scared, you let fear run you, and and the fact that you feel that you don't deserve it subconsciously, a lot of shit is subconscious, right? A lot of the shit that we deal with as a community is subconscious. You look at back in the day what happened with the I think it was, matter of fact, I think it was Bank of America. Or it was called the Freeman Bank, right? As soon as like as soon as slavery ended and you got, wealthy Black people, kind of starting to really attain some wealth and get something, they put all their money into the bank, and the bank took it from them. The bank took their money. It was called the Freeman Bank. The bank took their money, and wouldn't and they say, yeah, there's nothing we can do about it. We some regulation and blah blah blah, and took their money. That's why Black folks still got money in their mattress to this day. That's why grandma, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why you see, and you used to wonder why, you could, always see, like I would always see my moms or you know, elder, you know, pulling money out. They, you know, how much you need, baby? You know, pulling the money out. Like that shit should be in the bank. You know what I'm saying? But no, we scared of the bank because of stuff like that that happened. You know, um, and that's a lot of reason why, you know, if you think about it, why people, why us as a community are is, you know, as a whole. I'm not gonna say, you know, everybody, because like I said, with the event of a lot of the urban social, you know, a lot of urban podcasts and networks like UIL and stuff like that, you know, the stock market was a scary place too. I mean, shit, we were the ones who started the stock market. If we want to be real, our blood, our bodies are the ones who started the stock market. You know, but yeah, it's important, man, like that we look at these facts and say, okay, one, yeah, I do deserve wealth, but yes, my family does deserve wealth. We deserve everything that, you know what I mean, that we dream of in the here and now, and not have to wait until we die and you know, are no longer in the physical form to hope and wish and possibly, you know, nothing comes of it. Who knows what's going to come of that? You know, we deserve to have what we, you know, are deserve right here and now, man. So that's one of the most important things that we have to understand, is that we deserve wealth. Wealth is deserving of us. We just gotta understand that it's gonna take some work, but why not put in a little work so you can actually have it, as opposed to, you know, I, I'll say this and I'll end with a, but like every time I see us wasting money on just the dumbest things, man, like we'll spend thousands of dollars on our kids' proms, and they don't even have a college fund or nothing like that. Like I get it. You know what I'm saying? You want to look good. You want to, you know, but you're spending thousands and thousands of dollars to go to a dance when you could, that money could be we're flashy people. I get it. You know what I'm saying? We love to look good, but let's work on the back end of that. Let's work on the end of actually having something, as opposing to look like we have something. That's it. That's it. And that's all for me. But yeah, man, I can go on and on.
And man, you said something though. We deserve wealth, but we also deserve to be happy.
Yeah.
And you know, we can say the root of money is evil, but we always can say that with money brings another level of happiness too. So just as much as we deserve and should receive that wealth and we manifest that, one, we should be keeping the mindset to keep it and manage it, but also, you know, be happy, because that does bring that joy. It does bring that vibration to be happy. So they go together. Happiness comes with it. So that's a part of it too.
Yeah, thanks.
Also, man, it's the power of working together too as a culture, man. Like that $1.4 trillion, like we all ever get together, like you said, Ty, we can make that, you know, we can make this work. You know what I mean? And it's like, when you think about it, because as long as we are separated and we don't come together, that's just the furthest it's going to get away from the whole goal of what we need to do as a culture, as a people. So how can we just mend and make this work, you know, and get together and all just buy back our communities and get our things back to what we have for ourselves, you know, especially for what's about to happen in the world in the next couple of years. So we have to be ready to adjust and be ready to have our plans intact and ready to go, you know, and fire on all cylinders, bro, because you got to get ready. you know, because don't get left behind, you know, don't get left behind time. It's time to like think about your future right now and still got time, and we got to put this together. Like we got to figure out how we can get all of this back for ourselves, because we're going to need it very soon.
Absolutely. Absolutely. One other thing real quick. So I created this thing, man. It's a card. I don't know if you can see, if you guys can see it.
Mm-hmm.
You guys see what that says?
Yeah. It's a Black empowerment card.
Mm-hmm. Influence the culture.
Yeah.
So it has the black fish right here, and then it has, this is the African American, the African American flag right there. But I created this back when you seen when Trump had those Trump cards or whatever, those white privilege cards. Remember when those were going around a couple years ago? So I created this, man, and then so that's the front of it, and I really want to get this going, man. Like this is something I need to bring back to the front and talk to a lot of these businesses and get it going. But basically, it's just it's like I said, it's the Black empowerment card, but it's like you could basically, once you show the card, it's like boom, you go to a business and you might just get a 5% discount just because you're in the network, right? But what I said on the back of the card, it says the why. So let me see, I'll show you. It says the why. It's time to control the power, right? But I'll read what the small print says. This card was designed and created to express the influence that the Black community has over popular culture, not only with the trends we set by dictating what's hot, but also by the dollars we spend doing so. Black people account for $1.4 trillion annually of consumer spending, which is the largest amongst all ethnic groups. Meanwhile, as a whole, we remain the poorest. It's time we shift that paradigm and spend more within our own community so we can continue to not only influence the life of many others, but begin to control the destiny of our own.
That's dope, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Fire.
it's vital, bro. Like, it's so much power, and we are the culture. As we go, society goes. Like, if you want to take it to politics, they know that they can't, like, if they really want. I mean, who knows with this next election coming up, but they know the Black vote accounts for a huge demographic that can control and determine who the next president is. So that's why a lot of times they'll play to us. You don't see them playing to no other culture, bro. No other culture. Like you look at the Republican side right now, they're trying to recruit. They got Amber Rose, they got, whatever. She's rapping now, whatever. That's a whole other topic. Then this other dude, I forget what his name is, but he's talking about, that America is not a racist country and such and such and such, and just pandering to the Republican side, but trying to get us, the Black people as a whole, to go Republican. As we go, the country goes. Even the whole world goes, bro. You got hip hop over in India, Japan, in every other country across the world. Where does hip hop stem from? Hip hop is us. That's us. You know what I mean? So we got to start realizing, man, that we deserve to eat on the level of all these other people who are appropriating what we've created and what we will continue to create. We deserve it, man. We deserve it.
Absolutely.
We deserve it.
Info for sure.
So yeah, man. This is a great talk. This is a great conversation. We definitely, this is something, like I said, it's kind of a part two of what we talked about last week with the whole AI being right here in front of us. We can't be afraid to take advantage of the things that are to come. We have to know and understand that we deserve the wealth that can be bestowed upon us. It's just up to us to take advantage of the opportunities. You know, it's up to us to be willing to put in that work. And it's just put your head down and grind up. You know what I'm saying? And you look up in 1 to 2 years, and you'll have everything that you could ever imagine. You know, and you won't have to worry about paying that car note because you just wouldn't spend $1,000 on a T-shirt from Louis or from Balenciaga, some Balenciagas or whatever. You know what I mean? That's some ugly stuff anyway. But we ain't gonna talk about that. But nah, you know what I mean? Like we just gotta understand that we deserve everything that we want in this life. It's just gonna take some work. And once you, like you said, with that book, The Atomic Habits, once you realize that everything that you want in life is just up to you saying, okay, this is what I'm gonna do to get that. Put in those you know, start putting in that regimen. You know what I mean? You want to be fit, you want to work out, start working out. You want to have a better diet, start eating better. You know what I mean? Like it's really that simple. It's really that simple, man. So I said, shout out. This is a great conversation. You guys got anything to say you want to before we wrap it up?
Man, just like earlier about those habits and creating those habits. Those habits is either gonna keep you up or it's gonna bring you back, stay down. You know, so it's our choice of which habit we want to create. You know, and are we going to stick to our guns? Like I said, you know, doing those push-ups every day, that I feel like I could do this for the rest of my life now. You know, like because it became a part of me. So just keep creating, man. Stay focused and keep your eyes on the prize, man. Because it's like you said, Ty, it's gonna come, but you got to put that work in. You got to get your mind together and just go for it.
Yep.
All right. So, like another one in the books. We appreciate everybody for continuing to tap in and check out the episodes. Here shortly, we're gonna have some interviews coming. I know I got a couple people that I wanted to bring on. I know Corey got a couple people we want to bring in. I think we all got a couple people that we know that we want to bring in and have a conversation and just kind of get their perspective on what they've had to deal with in life. And yeah, it's up from here. So yeah, we're gonna continue to bring you the great conversations. Continue to tap in with us, and like I said, comments are always welcomed. You know, even on the YouTube, put your comments in the section. Don't be afraid. Engagement is highly important for stuff like this because it's only gonna make us better. It's only gonna allow us to bring you better content, and it's only gonna allow us to grow to where we need to grow to. You know, so yeah, we appreciate y'all. So everybody signing out. Mindset, Hen, Jay Hunter, Key. We appreciate y'all. So until next time, Bro Foundation is out.
Gratitude. Peace.
Peace.